Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Tuesdays. We got the update with Michelle Wolfe. How's it going, Michelle?
Hey, buddy. It's going good. Today is a good day. Yay!
Whoop.
Hasn't been the easiest week.
Wait a minute. You're not Aaron and Sherry. Let me switch that. There we go.
Oh, was I muted?
No. You were Aaron and Sherry from last night. It's cool though. I had your name underneath your picture, Ron.
Oh, was I Sherry?
Yeah, Sherry and Aaron from last night.
No, two people in one. I've been feeling like that lately. That's a good way to describe things.
Yeah. Now I know that we talk about like letting the chaos lie and just sort of observe from a distance, but it's hard not to pop your head up when you hear something like J. Epstein is indicted.
Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Epstein. Yay!
So,
there's indicted. Yeah.
There's two sides of that. There's the people that's like, he got away with it once, he's going to get away with it again. Comey's daughter's the prosecutor, and it's all fixed. But I tend to think anything's possible. You never know.
Well, a lot of stuff's going to come out of it. You're talking about over 24 victims. And that's just now, now that I think, the possibility of even more people coming forward is there too. But what is going to be really interesting is when these witnesses start telling their stories because the key is trafficking, right?
Yeah.
These victims were passed around. That was part of it. So, and who they're passing around to. And that's what's really going to start shocking people. And those flight logs and who was really, and you're talking Bill Clinton on that plane, 26 times.
Yeah, a lot of big names.
A lot of, and a lot of stuff about to come out.
Who's going to talk to save their butt is the big question. And that takes me back to the law of one, which Aaron and Sherry and I were talking about that last night. How it was talking about when you're on the negative service to self path. Sure, you might be all about the service to self of the group, but as soon as it's do or die, or it's your neck on the line, then this disintegration process begins to take place, and it's not the whole group. It's service to self, my personal preservation.
Yes.
I'm looking out for number one.
Hell with all you.
And then it begins to dismantle and disintegrate. So I have high hopes that this isn't just another he gets away with it sort of thing. And that
you've already got names starting to come out. It's not just about Epstein. Already it's starting. It'll slowly, bit by bit, you'll hear more and more about the different victims and
it goes along with that unveiling
and who is involved.
Yeah.
There's going to be you're talking about royalty.
Yeah.
Presidents.
Yeah.
Actors, comedians, Harvard professors.
Really
business people. Yeah. Scientists, award-winning scientists. It's so
a lot of names. Huh?
A lot of names, and I think that's gonna be the real shocker, when that really starts to come out, and not just it won't be just him getting charged, because he's not the only one who's been trafficking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once the Clintons actually do, because there's Haiti, there's all of it, and that's bound to come up soon, with Epstein even saying that he co-founded the Clinton Foundation. So, and a lot of that trafficking has been siphoned through the Clinton Foundation and through Haiti. So, So it's going to get real interesting. It's not going to just be Epstein. And I think that's where we'll start to see a lot more of these indictments being unsealed.
Quite literally the tip of the iceberg, maybe.
Very, yeah. Well, I think that NXIVM was right, and the Allison Mack, and getting people to understand that this does happen. Here you have like famous Hollywood figures. This is the way that they do things. Through blackmail. Understanding how these trafficking, blackmailing,
Just how the whole network
enslavement
works,
how it works,
and
right?
how
Yeah.
it's set up to protect itself, because everybody's kind of looking out for their own neck. So but now it seems like I'm just saying my observations of it. I'm really surprised that you're seeing so much of it in the media. It's like that they're letting so much of it go through. It doesn't appear that they're trying to. I mean, it's out there. It's not like they're told to kill the story. It's almost like he's been thrown to the wolves or something. I don't know. Nothing on the internet seems to be being taken down. Everything's getting promoted that have to do with it. I mean, if you look into it, you
Well,
see suggested
what's really
videos.
interesting? So as soon as he was charged, they changed WikiLeaks changed their bio of Epstein. What did they change? They removed the names of Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey from his bio, but left the name Donald Trump. Come on, right? So we'll just, and that's what they did immediately. Removed other names in his bio, right? Who they don't want it to be attached to, but then leave Trump. So it's kind of, we're going to see some interesting things like that where they're shuffling information and realigning themselves. Like, I don't want to be seen with that person anymore. I think a lot of people are going to start doing that, but it's going to be such a flood. And, and then the other thing too is, when it gets into the Clintons and everything, is how bad it really is going to get, and the possibilities of what is on the laptop of Weiner, who's in, and the insurance policies that he had on these laptops, on this laptop.
It is really like a house of cards, isn't it? Once it begins to all come out, it's going to be a quagmire.
When it's all when it's all intermingled all through Hollywood and all through politics and business, and
now these sealed court records, which could include many indictments in there, I think they're in the hundreds of thousands. It's over 100,000 now.
I think it is. Yeah, I haven't checked in a little while because, we've talked about,
I think Jordan Sather
every day,
mentioned it the other day. Said it was at 106,000 or something. I could be wrong. It's somewhere right in there though. But
I remember when they first freaking out about being like 5,000. And then the numbers just kept going up and up.
20 and 30 and 40,000. I think I stopped looking around 40,000, and then just found out it's like 100.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So whether or not they'll all be used, I don't know, but I think we're just seeing the beginning of that.
Pressure on people, you know what I mean, to talk, because I'm sure if to do it right, you got to get the big fish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why it has to do it right. It has to be done very carefully, because look at what they've gotten away with, right? Look at what Hillary Clinton's gotten away with, what Epstein got away with before.
And when you've got judges on that roster, what are you going to do about that? You got lawyers, judges, all sorts of people. That's
and I think that's why it's taking this time, these couple years, to clear the way and pave the way of the DOJ, and try to prepare everything so that you can have proper trials.
Well, I like to resonate in that, hey, this could be some big shift in that arena.
I think it's a positive thing of things coming to light.
But even like Bashar says, you can just let go of the expectations and know that things are going to work out the way they're going to work out, even if this isn't it. You know what I mean? Because nobody knows. But it's better to be hopeful and optimistic and send that positive intention, because you never know. You might shift into your own timeline where things do work out like that. So,
Yeah. And you know what? The fact is still, no matter what happens, this problem is getting tackled, and you do see that by the amount of arrests that have gone on in the last couple years. So there is reason to be hopeful for that, because there is accelerated change going on in that problem being tackled. So I'm
I'm
really
hopeful.
hopeful.
I'm
Yeah,
hopeful
I
too.
really am,
I think it's the better way to be.
Yeah, I mean, I
Optimistic.
don't want to say let's celebrate, but like, because
Right.
it's a terrible thing, no matter what.
But
But
even just raising
yeah.
awareness of it now, even if nothing turns out and he gets away with it, it's still raising awareness that this type of thing goes on. So I can still find positive in it, no matter what angle you look at it. You know.
Well, I think the important thing too in the last couple of years was preparing and getting people to understand how the media present things and how biased they are, and why they're twisting things, so that when these stories do come out, people will hopefully look more for their own, truth, as opposed to just listening to the media's slant on it, because that's not just the DOJ, but that's a problem as well too. So I think we've
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of preparation where a lot of people have opened up to the idea of don't just accept what is being told to you on a screen, and as truth, at least do some research for yourself and do some digging before you claim something as truth. And
Energy wise, what's been
mhm.
going on with you? What you been feeling like?
Oh yeah. I had a hard few days. Yeah, I really felt it. Really seeing this process, and not just for myself, but for mom too, and watching how she's progressed in the last few weeks, with getting a lot of dream activations, and then seeing the progression of that,
Mm-hmm.
how it works its way through our system. And I'm really seeing that defined more clearly with others and myself in this process, how the activation comes in and it hits us on, the astral level. So we maybe experience these like really crazy vivid dreams, um get a lot of third eye weird, things going on, or downloads or impressions, all kinds of different ways that it hits us sort of astrally when we get these, like, boom, this download come in or activations come in. and then
Mm-hmm.
and then the next stage just seems to go to like the thinking mind, and then I find the thinking mind just has this kind of heyday of pitching around ideas and pulling out memories and cross-referencing things, so it can be like your mind's just like so active, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes to the emotional, and then it seeps through to the emotional thing, and then all of a sudden we can find all this stuff coming up, right, of all the stuff that our brain was picking and pulling and accessing, to change perspective and everything with that activation. Well, then that emotional response and those reactions seems to come up to the surface, and the emotional body does its sort of purging and processing of the energy, and then lastly it's the physical body that then deals with that and feeling the results of it. And bouncing back like quickly from it, I'm seeing how clear these different stages are, and um and do feel that I can bounce back from the physical part. It's a lot of rest is key, but even though it's really draining, but it's interesting to see it really really work. And I also really noticed with the blasts with the Schumann resonance, because we
Yeah, I was
did
just
have it
looking at that.
quiet for a little while, right? We had
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks or a few weeks where it was relatively quiet compared to how it's been through the beginning of the year. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if we go back a few days, we've had a few blasts.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt the responses of that, and feeling like what we talked about last week as far as that bottlenecking of energy,
Mm-hmm.
and where so much comes in, the pressure on the head, and then it can go on the neck. So with these blasts this week, I really experienced all the physical sensations from it, which were not fun. uh the visual I got for it felt like, those old scuba, deep sea diver, how they big iron,
Oh,
like,
right, right.
helmet thing. The
Yeah.
deep sea divers, right? And it was like this. It felt like that's what I was wearing, like a heavy iron from the chest, from the heart up, like around the shoulders and around the back. So all of the pressure all between the shoulder blades. So it really kind of came down like this, pressing, on the shoulders, in the neck, and the weight of it. I could just that was kind of a visual I had, but I could really feel the pressure of the energy in those areas, and fluey like feelings, like where you feel it like in the bones, like you're just sore in the bones, aching, heavy bones.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or even in
yeah,
some of the muscles, I've had some of the,
muscles.
you know what, I had the head pressure. That's funny you said that because I had the head pressure. At Marianne is feeling the pressure in her forehead this week.
Mm, right. Yeah. A
Eartha
lot of
Maya,
pressure here.
husband, and I are both have had heavy head pressures today.
Hmm.
So it's going around.
Yeah. Yeah. And it
Uh,
it comes.
Lissa even had it a few days ago. So yeah, a
Hmm.
lot of people feeling that. Yeah, same
Yeah.
way with Dave. So yeah, there's something going on with the head pressure, huh?
Yeah. No, it really, it's quite noticeable, and it was
That's
definitely
interesting.
noticeable this week with those blasts. It was really heavy. It was really heavy. That's why I felt like I was just being weighted down with that, and could just feel that the pressure of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's quite amazing, the sensation of pressure on the forehead. That's pretty consistent now with that when it comes in. It's like really pushing, right? So, and I really and like I said, with the in between the shoulder blades,
Mm-hmm.
there's two parts to the back where it almost, like, I think Sherry was mentioned something before about those 2 points in the back where you just felt like she was getting like pulsations like back there. So those 2 points there, and then 2 point like on each side here, um really felt like a lot of energy, like again, like pressure and
Mm.
like achy. It made me feel like I couldn't, like my arms were dead weight, like I couldn't even lift my arms, right?
Mm.
So I had a lot of that, but then it kind of works its way down. And then, with the gut, when the purging gets to the gut, it's different than a regular stomach upset, because it really feels like it's like squeezing, like it's like squeezing a lemon to get out, anything it can. It can be very painful.
That's funny
Yeah.
you're mentioning a lot of these symptoms. I did notice the head pressure when it was going on, and then but some of these other things, I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been noticing that too, and I just don't think about it as being part of that until you mention it, and I'm like, oh, well, so it's just something we're all
Yeah,
feeling.
because I'm really kind of seeing the cycle of it too, right?
Yeah.
And then it just lifts, and there's no virus, there's no, like, we're not sick, there's no, um, I'm not even coming in contact with anything that would be making me sick. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you're just like that for a day and feel like flu like that for a day, and then as long as you get your sleep, and then you bounce back and you're like, oh, now I feel normal. And it
Mm-hmm.
just kind of, you could, bobs up and down like that. But that's what I'm really seeing, is these kind of how it works through, how it goes to the astral, and then it goes through the thinking mind, and then it goes through the emotional body, and then lastly it goes through the physical body for the purging, and how it purges and rinses through, clears out what no longer serves us, readjusts our perspective, it releases what needs to be released, whether it's thoughts, emotions, or physical things left in your body, and it just washes through us. And sometimes it can feel great, like when the energy comes in, we feel really activated and we get these spontaneous ideas and new perspectives. But sometimes, it's too much on our mind, and it feels like it's too much, and you
Yeah.
can't stop. The images, they're going too fast, and I can't even keep up with, where's my mind even going. It's like shuffling through all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it can feel good sometimes, it can feel bad sometimes, on both ways. But I do see the progression of it, which, when you can understand a process of something, it does make it a little bit easier to deal
Yeah.
with when it's not so great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely more tolerable when you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Typically, with the, because several people are talking about the pineal gland, and sure, I think it's probably, I can imagine there being some pressure there if it's opening up and making changes,
Is it getting
and I'm cool
enlarged?
with
Who
that, you know.
knows? Yeah. Getting activated and the energies. How we could
It's
be reacting to that within our body. I said, I said to my mom this week, when I was really feeling it in my bones and almost feeling like my bones were being stretched, that kind of sore feeling. And it was like, I was like, I could feel it in my bone marrow. It's like I could feel it inside my bones, the energy. I know that sounds really weird, but it wasn't a pleasant feeling. But yeah, but who
Was it
knows?
painful, uncomfortable? How would you describe it? Just
I'm not very comfortable. No, it was like a lot of pressure in the bones. Yeah. Kind of like, when you're a kid too going through growth spurts and you get like the aches in your bones.
hmm
But it was like deep in yeah, it was like a deep within the bone. Like when I was really feeling that, like I couldn't lift my arms and everything. It was like the ache is deep in the bones. hmm
hmm
Yeah, and weary. But then it's just lifts and it's gone, and I'm fine. Like there's nothing wrong with me. But for that day there, I'm like, or maybe it's a day and a half or whatever. Worst case, it's two sometimes, but not usually so much anymore. And do rebound a lot quicker. And sometimes maybe it's just even half a day. But for that time, it sucks, right? But then I
hmm
just rest, give myself that break, be sucky for that little bit. That's okay. And I
Or
bounce back and feel better the next day.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes a little nap is all you need.
Yeah. Well, it goes a long way. hmm
Let's see. I've been bursting blood vessels in my fingers a lot lately, says Jolie. Jolie.
Oh,
Is that like when you don't really see it, but you get that really sharp pain? I've gotten that too. Like
I don't know.
it's really wild. But that sort of goes along with the muscle soreness or the bones.
Well, do you really feel the blood pressure kick in, eh? Where like when the head pressure kicks in and the blood pressure kicks in too with that. I know I definitely feel that.
Yeah, Dave's got the aching bones like he's been running a marathon.
Yeah, I do. If they ever actually check my blood pressure, I think when I'm like that, they probably want to put me in the hospital. I stopped checking my blood pressure a long time ago, so just don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've had some alarming blood pressure readings too.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't worry about it. You
No,
worry
I
about it,
don't
and it
worry
just
about it
makes it
anymore.
go up more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have
It
you
is
had
what
any
it is.
dreams or anything lately?
The dreams are just still really continuing this process. Not every single time I sleep, but mostly every time I sleep. And it really is, and Travis has shared this experience now, and I hope some of you guys have too, where just really feeling like when in the dream again, kind of really hitting this just right space of just a deep satisfaction. Just feels so good, and you just really, and again, like we talked about, like that pulling the, trying to pull it up into the experience and that bobbing up and down from like waking and back into to sleeping. And then uh and that's kind of cool, and going back into the dream and reinitiating that experience that created that activated feeling. It's a very activated feeling. And but yeah, just really trying to keep pulling that back into, trying to pull it into the waking experience in essence, and just keep kind of dipping into it and bobbing in and out of it. And that's what I want to master. How do I bring that in? But it's still going on, so I'm again hopeful. Right.
Yeah, yeah. The energies for me too have been weird. I've had some weird dreams that don't seem like anything. I guess I tried to find my little notepad. I write them down, and one was like my sister came to me, and my car had been in this garage, and then like the police came and confiscated it, and I'm like, well, why'd they take it? And they were like, well, they found a gun in there, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, just kind of a weird dream, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, my fingerprints aren't on it, I know that, I don't know where it came from or whatever, you know, and it was sort of that
Mm-hmm.
sort of dream, you know. And then
Hmm.
another one, I like was driving and ran through someone's fence or something. It was just it seemed like nothingness stuff. It's
Too
funny
much
the fence
stress around
thing.
your car.
Yeah.
Too much stress
I
around your
literally
car.
tried to get on the
Worrying too
fence
much
with my
about your car.
car.
You're worrying a lot about your car right now.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that sounds, yeah, I think that's pretty simple.
Mm.
Just worrying about the vehicle and problem. Yeah.
I should probably get that gun out of there, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Wait, is it loaded? Yeah,
Or
no.
maybe I should just check to see if there is one under the seat that I don't know about or something. That'd be
Maybe you
creepy,
should
huh?
check
You'd be
under
like,
your
oh my
seat.
god.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe that's what that whoosh by your shoulder was the other day in the car. Look under your seat. There's something under your seat. You got to have a look now.
Yeah, I'll get a flashlight and peek under
Yeah. Yeah.
there. I mean, it'd be a cool story if it is.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, I guess. Anyway, so
Anyway.
let's see. People hopping in here
Mm-hmm.
looking for, let's see, low blood pressure. Blood pressure can cause extreme ringing in your ears.
Mm-hmm.
One time I was dehydrated and didn't realize it, and I'm at the sink and I've been sweating, and all of a sudden my ears like start ringing really loud, you know, and then I like lost consciousness. I like little spots. It was really weird. It was like I never experienced anything like that. So anyway, I go to the hospital. I tried to feel for my heartbeat, you know, and I thought my
Yeah.
heart stopped because my blood pressure was so low I couldn't feel my pulse.
Wow.
So it's like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, you know, this is it. You know, this was years ago though. But
Mm-hmm.
all I needed was a couple IVs and I was fine. But it
Mm-hmm.
was a trippy, scary experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? It really does run the scale though, from the low blood pressure to the high. Like I've heard both ends of it, just as much, like equally. But
Mm.
yeah, the fact is, whether it's high or whether it's low, it does seem to get affected.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just how
magnesium's always a
we
good
all react
idea.
differently, right? Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Let's see. All right. Well,
All
shoot, I
right.
guess we'll just watch and wait and see what happens, and we can call this a short one if you want.
Sure. Yeah. Unless anybody's got questions, because. Mm-hmm.
Let's
Oh,
see.
good. I wanted to go over about the different stages. So just,
Yeah.
if you guys start to notice those stages, and maybe that'll help you, get through that. So,
Oh, your
and yeah,
mom's saying her legs feel like lead.
yeah. Well, she's been working outside, Mom.
Yeah. Hardly walk across the yard, and
Yeah. Well, she was fit. Like, yesterday she was done in, so that was her physical. I was a couple of days before her, but um,
Marianne says, eating issues. Here's another one that I'm reading, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sunday I had a breakfast and I just wasn't hungry the rest of the day.
yeah.
Other days I've forgotten to eat all day long, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't ate all day.
Mom was
You know,
talking
just
about that too, that she could, sometimes not eat for a couple days. So,
then
but
other times you're starving. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's like a bottomless pit.
yeah.
Like sometimes it just feels like a never-ending hunger, and then other time I've definitely a lot. The appetite has for me over the last week has dropped, has really dropped. So, but it does again. It goes up and down. You know,
Feisty Kitty, if you have one of those portable massage chairs, you can totally bring it to ECETI. That'd be handy, I think.
portable
What you think?
massages always a
Portable,
good answer.
portable massage chairs.
Cheers. Yeah.
If it's a hassle though, I don't know.
Hmm.
I do recommend people bring jackets and lawn chairs if you have them. What else? Definitely jackets because you think August, but it gets cold. It gets kind of chilly at night, like
Yeah.
60 degrees. So throw a blanket in the car, or You know, especially if you're just sitting out there at night, you know.
Yeah.
Probably going to get chilly.
Yeah.
And no
layers.
campfire.
It's all about layers.
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 Yeah, that's always a good approach. Just bringing up that you can throw some more on top and more on top. You're like, I used my whole week's clothing in one.
Yeah, I'll wear it all at once.
That's really cool. Yeah, those portable chairs are really neat. Or portable beds. I don't know if it's probably a massage bed, isn't it?
The portable massage bed. That makes a little more sense. I was like picturing some person like throwing a lazy boy like over their shoulder and like trudging off to ECETI with this massage chair, like lazy boy chair over their back. I'm like, okay, wow.
No, she says it's a massage chair. I just went back and found it.
Okay.
So, I don't know how it works, but we'll see.
I don't know either. That's the image I got.
Yeah, the kind you got to put the coins in. Yeah, that'd be way too heavy.
Slugging it off to ECETI.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Oh, you'd have to use it then, right?
Yeah. So let's see. Almost got. Oh, nice, Jolie. You're uploading a session, BQH, or what? I didn't know. I need to go subscribe to your channel because I don't think it's okay. So it's going to be your first video. I see here that.
Yay! First video.
So that's really cool because, you know, and if you guys ever have a channel because it's hard to know unless you go and check every single person that you put content up. So if you do speak up, I never mind somebody saying, hey, like I didn't know it was a Dustin had those dance videos until he said something about it. So I love to know about it. And and then other people in the chat can know about it as well. So
yeah, share care, love bears.
Yeah. And of course you can go to the website forum, uotf.net, and register there. If you don't get an email right away, check your spam folder because a lot of times it'll just go straight into there. Let it know it's not spam, or click the link and your account will get verified. If you're using an iPhone, some people have to refresh because they get an error message. So until we work that out, just refresh it or go on a PC or a Android device or something like that. Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, lots of love and light to all of you guys in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for being here again, Michelle, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll talk next week. Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.